Hello, today we're going to talk about a system that I like, the Garmin Alpha 100 Combo. This is a system that I use and hunt with. Some of the features I really like about it: you seem to get less interference messages than the Astro systems. The ability to track and train with one unit is very helpful. I like the ability to change communication settings. First, we'll start with what comes in the box. Your handheld will come with two antennas. You'll get your short rubber duck antenna and an extended range antenna. The Alpha comes with a rechargeable battery, your TT10 collar, which has the train ability put into it, so you have a track and train device. With your chargers, you'll get a little clip to connect to your collar, and then you charge it with a USB truck charger, and wall charger will come with the kit. And then you also get this split cable adapter, which is really handy. You plug in your charger to the split cable, and now you can charge two devices, whether it be two collars, or you could charge your handheld and a collar at the same time. You'll get some cover plates, so if you don't want to use the training system, you could take the prongs out and put a cover plate in there so that the dog won't have the prongs in its neck. You'll also get a belt clip, so it clips on the back of the Alpha, and you can click it onto your belt. And lastly, you're going to get a USB update cable to connect to your computer, and a Garmin Alpha travel bag, which is really handy. It keeps all your systems in a soft carry case. It's like a travel bag. So we'll talk a little bit about the Alpha. The Alpha is a touchscreen device, which at first we thought, it wasn't going to be such a good idea, but once you get used to it, it works very well. It has approximately a 1.5 inch to 2.5 inch screen size for the touchscreen. As I mentioned earlier, it comes with a lithium-ion rechargeable battery, which is really handy. No longer do you have to switch out the AA batteries and eat through the batteries. You have a rechargeable battery. Plug it in there while it's in your truck. Use the truck charger. That way when you come out of your truck, you're fully charged. If you need two of them, we can get you extra batteries also. The built-in e-collar system is controlled by the three buttons on the top, 1, 2, and 3. You can control these buttons a couple different ways. You have different methods of setting up how these buttons function. One of the myths out there on the internet is it only controls 3 dogs. That's simply not true. You can train all 20 dogs with your 3 buttons, and depending on how you set it up, there's different ways to set that up. A very nice feature about this is that it has the ability to track other handheld units. So if you have a buddy that also has an Alpha system, you can set it up so that you can see where his handheld is. He can track your handheld on top of the dogs. So you can track 18 dogs and then 2 handhelds if you wanted, or you could track 20 dogs and no handhelds, or if you had a bunch of handhelds, you could track more. So you can track other handhelds just like you could a dog collar. That's a pretty handy feature. The mapping on it is very powerful. You can accept bird's eye, which is satellite images. You can have multiple maps on here. I normally have a couple different map types that I like, and I switch between the map types. Very easily to do, switching between maps. There's also some key features like geofencing, which will tell you when a dog leaves a certain area. You can set up an alert to say, if this dog leaves this certain area, it'll give you a little alert. There's a lot of features in the mapping that are handy. With the Alpha TT10 collar, it's a very robust collar. As we mentioned earlier, you can track up to 20 dogs on this system. And you can also train up to 20 dogs. So the tracking and training of the dogs is probably one of the best systems out there as far as track and trainability. The training distance is probably, I would rate up there as the top of the line right now. If you can track this collar, you can also train the collar. So you can tone, or you can electronically correct, whatever you want at any distance. As long as you're tracking this collar, your ability to train it is the same. Communication settings. One of the things that a lot of people don't understand is the Alpha controls your communication settings through the VHF radio. So on the Astro system, you needed to be within 10 yards, 15 yards of the Astro to change any update rates or ID numbers. Simply not true with the Alpha. As long as you can track that dog, you can change the settings on that collar. So if you want to change it to a slower update rate or a faster update rate, and the dog's a mile away and you're still tracking it, you can simply do that by the handheld. Very good explanation of what I did. I was hunting. My dogs were heading towards a gravel road that they were having log trucks hauling logs on. I wanted to change my update rate. I was able to change it up to 2.5 seconds so that when I got on that road, I knew exactly which creek they were going to come out on. I was able to grab them, get them in my dog box nice and safe. The other aspect of that would be if they were heading towards a roadless area where you couldn't get to for a while, you might want to slow the update rate down, change it to 2 minutes so that you have more time to get back into those areas. You can easily do that with the Alpha system. You can control the front lights. They got 2 LED lights on there. You can control those, turn those on and off. If the dogs get on a highway and you're night hunting, you could turn the LED lights on so that maybe a car would see them a little easier, And then if they get back off the road, you want to save battery life, turn them back off, So the ability to change any setting about the collar at any distance, as long as you're tracking the collar, is really handy. We covered the collar light. It's got 2 LED lights on the front. You can flash them or you can keep them on solid. A couple different settings there. The changeable collar strap, so if you need to change the colors of the straps, or this simply gets dirty or wet, or you want to change it, you get into a skunk, something smells, you can change the strap very easily without any tools. Another key feature that we really like on this is what we call rescue mode. If this collar gets to about a 25% battery life with the rescue mode enabled, it will automatically switch to a 2-minute update rate, extending your battery life for a longer time to track your dogs. What I generally hunt with is a 10-second update. With rescue mode enabled, I consistently see 42 hours of battery life on my 10-second update, and then after about 32 hours or so, it switches to a 2-minute update rates, and I get 42 hours before the collar turns off. Some things to notice is the GPS is on top of the collar. Any of you guys have experienced problems with the DC-40s and some of the issues they had with the DC-40s? No longer the case with the Alpha. It has GPS on top. It's very quick. It acquires real quick. Works very well. And another improvement they did on the Alpha is they went to a cable-style antenna. So it's a lot more durable. It doesn't break. Seems to hold up better. And it does, we expect a little bit of range out of it, improvement over some of the other antennas. So that's the Garmin Alpha system. I personally use that system. It's one of my favorites. I do seem to get less interference messages with it. I like all the features and be able to change the communication settings. There's a lot of features I like about it. Being able to track and train with one remote instead of having 2 remotes. That's a system that's real powerful. We do get a lot of our professional guides and our professional customers that all switch over to the Alpha, and they've all been pretty happy with it. If you have any questions, we know the system very well. Feel free to give us a call or visit us online at dusupply.com. Our phone number is 855-384-8687.